Dots. What do we do with all these dots? Hi, my name is Keith. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be learning a little about pentatonic shapes, and if you're kind of confused as to the different 5 shapes of the cage system and where the pentatonic scales fall under the cage shapes, this is a kind of easy way, a hack if you will. I hate using that word, but it's a way that'll help you identify via ear and with your fingers where all the notes lie on the fretboard and how to transpose diagonal pentatonics into straight in the box pentatonics to kind of get a feel for it. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, let's just concentrate on the A chord, right? It's not too loud. So that's an A major chord on the 5th fret in the E position if we're talking about cage shapes. So that's the E position. Now, one thing that everybody should learn, and you should learn too, this is going to be very helpful, is a major scale. So the major scale for the A is right here, and you can slow this down. If you don't know the major scale, find a video for that, or I could teach you, but it's right here. Here's the major scale. That's your first octave, then it goes up from there. Okay, so from the major scale, we have the major pentatonic scale in that same shape, and that sounds something like this. Okay. Now, how do we know that? We know that pentatonic scale is missing, I believe it's missing the 4th. So here's the 1, 2, 3, then it goes directly to the 4th, then it goes to the 5th, then it goes to the 6th, and then repeats to the octave. So but if I didn't know that, where all those lie, especially when we go to a different position, how would I figure that? In this kind of easy example, we're going to use a diagonal pentatonic thing. So for the diagonal pentatonic major scale, goes something like this. You go 3 notes on the first root position note, so this is your A. Then we'll go 3 positions up, intervals up. Then we're going to go down a string for 2 positions. And that's the major pentatonic scale. And you can continue that up. So we go something like this. So if you're listening closely there, you know those first 5 notes of the pentatonic scale are right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it repeats to the octave right there. It's an A. So if I could listen to those notes, I know we have so I want to correspond that to stay within that E-shaped box. That doesn't sound right. We're all used to that. That's the minor pentatonic scale, and we'll go on to that one next. So if it's not this note, it's again the beginning of the major pentatonic scale. So what's the next note? Where's that? That's it. Then what's the next note? Oh, that's the next note. So we'll kind of go back and forth. Okay, so that's how we do it from the E position. So if we want to move up to the next position in the cage, we're going to go up to what's after E. It's D. So we got the A chord here. We scooch that on up here, and we got the D shape of the A chord right here that lies on the 7th fret. So if where the heck does the pentatonic scale lie right here? I do know, based off of what we did before, where the pentatonic scale lies here. But how do I transpose that up here? Alright, so we're going to use the diagonal pentatonics. We're going to find our root note. Our root note on this D shape is on the B string right here. And it's also right here on the D string. That's our A. A. So, if our root is right here on the D string, 7th fret, that's an A. Where do our pentatonic, diagonal pentatonics lead us? It goes from here. So we're going to take that and use our ear to kind of identify where that lies underneath our fingers in this shape here. And a quick tip, they're pretty much almost all right within this little shape, but to kind of illustrate that, we know. So it's... Those are the same notes. Those are the same notes, right? So that's a kind of quick cheat and a quick hack to kind of figure out where those notes by transposing them from diagonal to fit kind of within that infrastructure that we're stuck in that one little box or shape, so to speak. We're not going to be stuck in it, but this is good to know where your shapes and where the pentatonic scales lie if you're having trouble remembering every one of these little things here for every shape. It's good to ditch this altogether, or any scale books, and kind of go by ear and figuring it out for yourself, because that's going to make life so much easier in the future. So to stick with the A, let's go to minor pentatonic. So if we know our minor pentatonic diagonals, or let's just stick right here in the E shape. So what's our favorite blues box? Missed that one. And then you got your... That's our, with the blue note in there. So, where do I transpose just this pentatonic, though? So, if we use our diagonal, we have the same notes here. We start with the root. Easy enough, right? We know that shape by heart. But what if we did that, and let's say we had the D shape, A, but we want to play the minor pentatonic scale up here instead. We're going to do the same exact thing with the major pentatonic scale with diagonals. And we know, now that we have the D shape here, A chord, D shape. Let's assume that's a minor chord. We're not going to get into how to do that here, but we're going to use diagonal pentatonics to figure out the minor, kind of the same way we used it to figure out the major. So the major, we know the root note is right here. Again, on the D string, that's an A. And here's the D major. So if we do the minor pentatonic based off of D, we're going to do this. So where does that fall within this little constraint right there? So we're going to do that again. So how does that work? That's where our pentatonic lies. So if you take one of these chord sheets without cheating and looking at one of these dot-filled pages, we can figure out just by using our ears how that pentatonic shape fits within, or that pentatonic minor structure, let me get my word straight, fits within this shape. So there you go. So that's a kind of quick little tip. I hope that came across kind of clear. If we are ever going to get confused on where the pentatonic scales fit within a given constraint of a shape, then we need to learn a couple things. We need to know, right off the bat, we need to know the major scale and how everything relates to each other. That's the first thing you should probably learn. We're going to probably need to learn the diagonal pentatonic shapes, because that's a really easy way to kind of get your ear used to what the pentatonic shapes actually sound like whenever you're rolling through them. And then transposing that to the different chord shapes that fit within that cage structure. So that's kind of a quick way to kind of learn. I think the key is to understand where the root is and where all the intervals go after that root is done. So I hope that helped. Again, if you found this helpful at all, please like and subscribe. I do all these things for fun, and if you have any ideas for future videos, please let me know, and we can work together for the love of guitars and make every one of these videos as awkward as possible for everybody.